If you're like me, the warmer weather has you thinking about getting out and about. But there's something to keep in mind, certainly, whether you're driving, whether you're cycling, whether you're out for a walk. This morning, we have Hollis Wright & Clay partner Michael Eldridge joining us to talk a little bit about some safety tips and what you can do if the worst does happen. Michael, great to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Nice to be here, Catherine.
So when we're out and about, with the weather being so nice here in the 60s
Just
and
recently,
70s,
yeah.
just recently, yeah, exactly. Some of us want to get out, maybe hit the trails, maybe go for a ride. We know the dangers and the risks of a car accident when it's vehicles. How does that change when there's a pedestrian involved, when there's a cyclist involved?
Yeah, that's a very important question and distinction because, and I think it's for obvious reasons, right? Anytime that we have an accident where it's a motor vehicle versus a pedestrian or a cyclist, the injuries are going to be more severe. And the reason that is because unlike an accident that you just talked about where we're in a car, those cars are literally designed, Catherine, to protect us, to make us safe if we're in an accident. When you're in an accident as a pedestrian or as a cyclist, you're completely exposed. And when we look at the statistics over the past decade, every single year in America, the statistics have shown more deaths and more injuries and more severe injuries with pedestrians and cyclists. And there's some reasons for that, but it goes to show that we have got to be vigilant as drivers and when we're out on the road to understand why these things continue to increase.
Of course, and so what are those reasons? Why do they continue to increase?
Well, I think there's a couple of factors. The first is there's been a trend to people moving to urban areas. And anytime that you have a larger group of people in urban areas, that means first you're going to have more cars, so more density of people on the road, but people commute to work by bicycle. There's more people out exercising, like you talked about. If you go to downtown Birmingham today in these urban areas, there's just a lot of foot traffic, right? So anytime that we're increasing the number of cars and the number of people out on the road, you're going to increase the chances of that liability coming true because there's just more opportunities for it, which is why, and we've seen an uptick at Hollis Wright of these accidents, why we want to talk about things that we can do to prevent or at least minimize the risk since we have all of these people, riding bicycles and, out walking on the road.
What are important things for cyclists to think about?
Well, and the dad in me is going to come out, but obviously always wear a helmet. That's for your protection regardless, but protecting your head is so key. The other thing is use the infrastructure that's available. So if there are bike lanes, if there are sidewalks to use other than being on the road, that is going to help you. Minimize your distractions, your smartphone, be vigilant, look for other people in those distractions so you can take evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, if you see somebody who's on their phone while driving, you want to avoid them, certainly, especially if you're riding a bike. Now, what about pedestrians? Because most of us are not walking around with helmets on, even though that might keep us safe, right?
You don't walk around with a helmet on?
No, I don't. Sorry.
No,
do
you're
you?
right. You're right. So it's similar to cyclists. Use the infrastructure in place. So for pedestrians, you've got crosswalks, you've got sidewalks. The other thing, a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people think you walk in the direction that traffic is going, like that you're walking the same way that they're driving on that side of the road. In fact, you want to do just the opposite. If you're on a sidewalk, you want to walk towards incoming traffic to give you the ability to be vigilant to see if the person coming towards you is distracted or they look like they're going to come into you, that you can take evasive action.
Both of you can see each other, as you're walking and they're driving. So if you need to jump out of the way, then you certainly can. Good information this morning, Michael. If something like this does happen, of course we hope it does not, but if it does, what can we do and how can we get in touch with Hollis Wright & Clay?
Yeah, if unfortunately you're one of the people as a cyclist or pedestrian that is injured in an accident, obviously you have rights, and we have attorneys that are experienced in this. You can call 84-LAW-TALK. You can find us on social media through Google, and an attorney will be there to speak to you about the incident with you or a loved one.
Good to know. Michael, thank you so much for your time and your information this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right.